All right, we're going to talk about the Aeolian Mode today, or the natural minor scale, and how it is related to its relative major scale. This is I'm going to start at page 20 on this book, in this book here, which I wrote a few years ago. If you want a sort of a more comprehensive approach, I would suggest well, not a more comprehensive approach. If you want, the beginning to the end of this book, you can find it on Amazon, and many people have found it very, very helpful. All right, so a C major scale. You all know what a C major scale is, so that's cool. And so now what we want to do is take your C major scale and create a new scale with exactly the same fingerings, right? So a C major scale, now in order to play the natural minor scale, or also known as the Aeolian mode, what we do is just start it a minor third below the tonic of C. So now all of a sudden we're in a minor key if we start on that A note. So a major scale is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Now, if we take that A note and make it our new tonic, we have a new scale that is a tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone scale. Even though they share the same notes, they are very different scales. And in fact, we are in two different keys here. This is the key of C major. This is the key of A minor. Remember also that scales are composed of distances between notes, and so if we have all the distances from the C tonal center, and do these tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone distances, it will be a C major scale because the distances are distances of a major scale. If we now start from an A note, we have the distances are completely different, as you can see, and so that's what makes scales unique, from one scale to another, is the distances that happen between the notes. So we start on a specific tonal center, in this case, A, and it does share the same notes as the C major scale, but the distances have all changed, and therefore the scale is a completely different scale. All right, and a completely different scale sound. But what this means to you as a guitar player is you can take all of those C major scales that you learned and start them on A, and you're going to have an A Aeolian mode, or an A natural minor scale. But you have to be religious when it comes to emphasizing the tonic, the correct tonal center, right? You don't want to start emphasizing the C tonal center, or else you're just going to flip right back to the key of C, right? So there you go. That's a quick explanation of how tones and semitones are make up distances, make up scale sounds. It's not the notes themselves. All right. So relative minor, as I said, you can count up six, C, D, E, F, G, A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will give you the relative minor root, or you can go back three from the octave C, B, A, and for the relative root. And here we have our first A natural minor scale vertically, which is going to be the same as the C major scale in terms of its fingering, right? But not in terms of its sound and not in terms of the key. You have to learn it separately. And you should, at the very least, add that tonal one chord, right? You could go as far as the 4 chord as well, D minor, and even as far as the E minor chord and the 5 chord. All right, so again. Now let's move up the fretboard. And here we are in second position. Here's my root. And here's the scale. You can hear it. It's exactly the same. I'm just working my way up the fretboard. Right, and if you want to do one chord, I like this one. A 4 chord, 5. Next one, working our way up the fretboard, is this one here. And there's my A natural minor, or Aeolian Mode, in 5th position, and with the tonal chords that I've been with the 1, 4, and 5. Okay, let's just move ahead. And the next one, we have to jump up an octave, and we start here. Always filling up, the entire position, and my chord. The A natural minor in 7th position, and then as we move up to the next position, we have now I'm in 9th position. This has got a couple of shifts in it. Okay, or D minor. Yeah, it's very, very, the natural minor Aeolian is very dark, sort of folksy sound. It's really, it's pretty. All right. And a very, it's very unaltered, right? There's no, there's no alterations. It's very pure. All right. And then finally we have the repeat that we started with down here. Now we have up here with the first finger getting where are the open notes down here. All right. And now I think that'll probably help. The idea is that when you're thinking of C major, you're at the same time thinking of its relative minor, and at the same time you're thinking of the chord of C major, or the chord, the 1, 4, and 5 of C major. You're also thinking of the relative minor. You can hear those similarities, right? In music writing, you're always sort of flipping back and forth. I mean, things aren't quite as dry as a practice routine, but a practice routine will get you to a place where everything falls underneath your fingers, and you know what the fretboard is telling you. You know how everything is put together. And so this book tends to belabor that fact, because I always show the complete fretboard, and exactly where your fingers are on the fretboard, and why we come up with the fingerings we do, because we're just extracting those notes of the scale out of the natural notes of the fretboard. All of these fingerings are going to be in every mode you play, in every scale, well, of the unaltered scales, let's put it that way, that you play. I mean, whether it's Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, all of those modes will use these same fingerings, and with very, very different sounds and very, very different effect, because when you change the tonal center, you change the distances between the notes, because the distances between the notes are heard from the tonal center, or the tonic. And that's a big one. And if you wrap your head around that one, it could change everything. Okay, if you haven't been there already. So that's good. If this is a help to you, click like. If you would like to subscribe, even better. Love to see you back again. If there's anything you want to know, or if there's any question that you have at this stage, I will answer them. And it's just fun to be able to talk to guitar players. Okay, that's it for today. Natural minor scale. Keep those ideas of distances in mind and tonal centers in mind. And we'll see you again real soon.